All right, all right, all right. What's up, people? Yo, welcome, welcome. Another chat with divers getting coffee. How you doing, sir? What's up? What's up? Welcome back, guys. We're doing another session. Yeah, just chilling, taking it day by day. Happy new month, everyone. It's gonna be fun. We're expecting a friend in a few minutes. We've got a shadow producer coming in tonight. My name is Ed. This is my weekly chat with divers from near and far. And yeah, mostly we just talk dive talk, and sometimes we digress into other things. But it's always good talk, good people. Looking forward to diving with you guys sometime. For those that I haven't gone out diving with, and let's say it should be fun. Shout out to TJ, shout out to TJ, shout out to Letty, Galitical Timbre, welcome. It's gonna be, how's everybody doing tonight, or this evening, today, in September? How's everybody holding up? Blast. Yes, sir. You got that right. It's taking it one day at a time. Everything good with the positive vibes. It's a whole new month. It's the last quarter of the year. What are we going to do? We're just going to try to, project a new vibe, project a vibe that makes it work. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Let's see. We're waiting on. What's good, King?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. How's it going?
It's going, It's a whole new month, whole new quarter. We're
True,
just
true.
trying to get it out there. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's get started. The first thing. Well, I have something I wanted to ask you, but
Okay.
yeah, this is another session, another IG live chat. Divers getting coffee. Somehow we met each other. Most of us that were having this chat, we met each other mostly on Instagram, certain times, and we've connected, supported each other from afar. But it's time we start talking and start planning dives together and start maybe encouraging others to join and go dive with us. So
It's a great
that's
thing.
it's a great thing. That's a lot of what the talks have been so far. So let's start. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Well, my name is Neil. I reside in Richmond, Virginia right now, but moving to Orlando, Florida in a little while.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was into aviation for a little while, but then kind of wanted to, get into the diving scene. Went to a local dive shop. They were telling me what I need to do and the equipment I needed to buy. So I said, let me search on Instagram and see if I can find, dive
Yeah.
computers and so forth. Crazy. I ran into your profile. I was like,
I'm
a
kidding.
black diver? Damn. So it's
Yeah,
like,
we out here.
wow, like, yeah, they out there, man. So I immediately called the shop and I was like, when can I do this, get my certification? They told me, did my pool, my open water, and here I am.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And for those that don't know, it's been really nice getting to like learn about your experiences and your adventures. You dive, you fly planes, you're a doctor or you're a doctor in training? What are
Nah,
you, CIA? Can you
nah. Far
just
from
tell us, Neil?
CIA, but currently you can say transitioning to nursing school from computer science engineering.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I
Oh,
had
okay.
a internship at NASA Langley Research Center doing low boom flight demonstration. But I'd rather to save lives. So that's the
Nice.
direction I'm heading in.
That's
So
awesome.
after I'm done
Healthcare
with the nursing
heroes.
school, then I'll be a
Hmm.
anesthesiologist, and that should be it.
That's awesome. Whew.
Yeah,
You got a smart brother here, man.
trying, man, trying.
Nice. What did you learn to dive in Richmond?
Yes. Hmm.
Oh wow. Out in like a quarry or something, or did you guys go
So
out to the
yeah,
ocean?
we started at Lake Phoenix. It's
Yeah.
not too far from the North Carolina border, but it's a pretty nice place. The depths there is, I guess you can say, from 10 to 65 feet.
Hmm.
Um, so I've been diving there, and I recently did like a shore dive at the beach, but that's about it. I should be going down to, what is that place? Somewhere between Bimini and Miami for the 7th,
Hmm.
um, Labor
So like
Day.
in the Keys?
Yeah, somewhere around that side diving.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Oh, that's because when I started diving, I was out here in California, and conditions are not the best all the time, but
Hmm.
it was easily accessible. And my instructor actually learned to, or he's from Pennsylvania, so he grew up there, learned to dive. He's gone diving all over the world, but he dove in like quarries and stuff like that. And he tells me stories, and I'm just like, no, I would never go back if I started like that. But
Wow.
but it's fun because you go to the cool thing about this, like you learn and you do it. You do it when that motivation comes, and you learn
Hmm.
wherever you are. If you try, uh, when I lived back on the East Coast, I wanted to do it at the time, and I was like, yeah, maybe when I go to Florida, when I go here, and you just never get around to it.
Hmm.
But when you just seize that opportunity, you go out, you get it done. You go out to the Keys, you get some good diving out there. You go out to the Caribbean, you go out anywhere else and just have some good dives. Are you when you started? Did you have any? What was your experience like? Did you have any like challenges when you were getting started? Do you have any? I had major issues when I started, so I'm always curious to know how your experience was when you started diving, when you were training.
So my number one challenge. So on the first, okay, so the pool session, it was cool up
Hmm.
until he had to simulate no air, and then you had to get the air from your buddy. But my buddy was an
Uh,
older lady. She didn't move that fast. She was somewhat nervous,
mm,
so it took a little bit longer for me to get, that second from her. So that was, one of the bad experiences. The second was going down the pool and inhaling from your mouth and exhaling from your nose with no mask on. I drank a lot
yeah.
of water that day. Let's see, the third. So the first time in the lake, there were like a ton of students in before me, and
Hmm.
visibility really sucked. So when we started descending to the first platform, I couldn't see anything. So first
Oh, wow.
instinct, go back up. So I had to go
Mm,
back up. I was a little nervous about not being able to see where I was going, but I guess after like the second, third dive, I was fine with it. So
that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to adjust and get used to, you know.
Hmm.
Um, that half second it took your buddy to give you the octo felt like a minute, like a minute.
Yes, underwater it feels like a lifetime. Like you're looking, everything is moving slow. You're like, give it to me, and she's like, I'm trying, I'm trying. I'm like, oh, this is not going good. Yeah,
Did she end up giving it to you, or did you just have to
I
use
I
your?
had to grab it. I had to grab it.
You know what? That's something when things that's a great life lesson. Actually, we can kind of like draw a similarity from scuba diving to real
Hmm.
life situations. If things need to happen, sometimes you got to stretch and get a little
Just go
proactive
ahead
to
and
get
do
it.
it. Hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
Have you? So you've done a lot of your diving, or you started diving in Richmond. Have you gone places recently? Have you? What's been your most interesting encounter underwater in your adventures so far? I see you went out to the Springs a few weeks ago, right?
Hmm.
Nice.
Um, most. I let's see. It's a hard question.
It's
Um,
a hard one. There are always so many really. I mean, every dive is a cool dive. So, but some are just more cool than others, right? Because if you ask me the same question right now, I have different dives for different things. So, or different ratings for different experiences. So, yeah, just curious to see what's kind of stuck out if you think back on your diving that other than that first moment where you realize, oh, I'm breathing underwater. Uh, that stuck out so
um,
far.
I don't know. That's really a hard one. I would really have to think about it because every single dive, even though I'm new to it, it's like every time you land a plane, it's like it's a wowing moment. No
Mm,
time is ever the same. It's just I don't know. I would have to take time and really, think about an answer for that question.
that's interesting on many levels. We got to get you diving more. How long have you been diving?
Um, probably probably 3 months, maybe.
Oh wow,
Hmm.
that's cool. I saw you trim in one of the videos you posted recently. That's pretty good trim. That's
Hmm.
and ain't no better way to just have those experiences and to keep doing it. So that's really cool. That's really cool.
Yep.
Um, and they say it's not kind of like how long you've been doing it. Yeah, there are people that have been diving for 50 years on and off. But there are people that have gone diving like every day. I don't know if TJ is still on. He he was in Honduras and one of his soldiers just wanted to go out and he was like, yeah, I'll do it with you. And next thing you know, back to back to back to back to back, he became an
Hmm.
instructor um, in a very short amount of time. And that's kind of how I started actually. I just one time took a chance and went, well, I think I'll just sign up now. I don't even know when I'm going to be ready for this. I'll sign
Hmm.
up and we'll do it whenever. Maybe get the first open water and go do it on vacation. Next thing you know, I'm finding myself underwater every weekend, and it was kind of like that back to back for a couple years.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, new month, new quarter. We're still under lockdown in most places. How did you? TJ said, "I'm not at work. I'm in the water." Yeah, that's
Nice.
exactly how it was. Yeah, that's exactly how it was. Like, yeah, at any point in time, just look at the time, you figure where what I was doing at that point.
Hmm.
Did, did you have any plans for diving this year that kind of COVID-19 just threw under the carpet, or did that affect you in any way?
Well, yes. So, diving in the Bahamas, I wanted to do that a while, probably when I first started diving, but
Mm,
they would not allow anyone in the Bahamas unless you like were a resident. So
mm.
that kind of screwed up a lot of things. And I did have a lot of free time then. But I would say in the next, well, September, October on down, I will be diving probably every other weekend in the Bahamas for the rest of this year.
That's because you're gonna be down in Florida, right? So
Hmm.
nice. They have I'm trying to remember Tiger Beach. I forget the name, but they have these cool shallow shark dives out there that are really cool. You get a bunch of tiger sharks come through, um, all sorts of different sharks. Off the top of my head, I can think of like Stork Cove Dive In. I think they run a good operation there. I mean, there's a bunch of other folks, a bunch of
Hmm.
good divers to connect with out there too. So that would be
Hmm.
fun. I'm kind of
Definitely.
jealous. I'm kind of jealous. You're out there just
You can move
hop.
anytime, anytime.
I know, right?
Hmm.
You got anything on your bucket list? Something you've been wanting to do, maybe even before you started diving?
Uh, Adventure, Africa.
Mm. Oh wow.
Like probably a 2 week adventure, four wheelers, planes, just discovering everything, caves, everything, you name it,
Yeah.
wildlife, everything.
Well, you got it. You have any country in mind to start? Have you ever been?
No, never been. That's why it's
Yeah.
the number one thing. But it would, I don't know. Um, Not sure where I would start, but I would have to, look
Mm.
that stuff up to
There's
see, like tour guides and so forth, and what
hmm
areas are safe enough.
yeah.
But I know definitely somewhere in Africa.
There's a bunch of obviously Egypt is very popular. Egypt is still part of Africa, I guess, but very popular with a lot of great dives. The Mediterranean, the uh, right around the Dead Sea area. There's a lot of good diving there.
Hmm.
Um, Zanzibar on the East Coast. Oh, I'll hook you up with my boy. He's gone diving a lot in Africa, from Zanzibar to South Africa to Egypt.
Wow.
Um, I personally have this spot on the West Coast, just off the coast of Nigeria, in on my list. I
Hmm.
just need to get back out. I mean, last time I was there, I wasn't diving, so that'll be something fun to do.
Yeah, I want to
What's
look at like the Dead Sea, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, that's they've got a really nice blue hole, great blue hole right around Sharm El Sheikh. I think that's what it's called, Sharm El Sheikh. Big, huge dive bucket list location in the Indian Ocean. It's got a bunch of places there. The Maldives, huge manta rays coming through. You should visit Vegas. They got well, someone just said you should visit Vegas. They've got loan sharks. You're funny. What was the one advice you got in your training that has really stuck out to you? You mentioned a couple things earlier about just proactively grabbing the octo, um, the anticipation or the intimidation of just the darkness when you were going down on the platform. What was the one big thing that uh, the best advice you got in your training that's really stuck out to you that you remember and you feel like you use on every dive you've had so far?
Well, my instructor, the number one thing he was big on was taking your time. No matter
Mm,
what you do, you take your time to do it. Everything I've made a mistake on, I was rushing. Just like how I told you before with the pool, inhaling through the mouth, exhaling through the nose. I started inhaling through the nose, so wasn't taking my time, rushing. But
yeah.
yeah, that helps with everything, especially in the deep end. So
Mm.
that is
That's
the number one thing.
that's solid because yeah, that's one of the things my instructor kind of gave me when I started. Just slow down, and it's something a few divers that have come on that have had chats with have always said, like, just slow down, take a minute, take everything in, think, well, breathe first, think,
Mm-hmm.
and respond.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Keep
um,
breathing.
let's let's see if we have any comments on here. Anyone curious about the chat? Yeah. Do you have any plans to go further?
Um.
You just got your advanced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
nice. Keep
Yeah.
diving.
Thanks. Yeah. I probably want to try some wreck dives. I mean, how do you feel about wreck dives?
They're probably my favorite. They're probably my. Um, I find them. I mean, all dives are interesting. There are different things to see, but I like wreck dives. There's a wreck specials you should probably take if you're gonna be exploring bigger wrecks or more complicated wrecks. They're kind of on their side, up is down, down is up. It's good to just understand the procedures to go in and out safely, because at the end of the day, we all want to be safe divers, right? So I find wrecks interesting. Usually, there's a lot of history behind how the wreck got there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nowadays, we have things like wrecks that get deliberately sunk for to be an attraction. But we also have wrecks that, um, like the Until, for example. I think it's SS Until
Hmm.
in Aruba, German boat, and the Germans, instead of World War II, like right around World War II, instead of surrendering the boat to the Dutch, they decided to just flood it and sink it. It's like, I don't know, 400 feet, just laying there in like 60 feet of water. It's cool to go
Damn.
in and check out, like, wow, what happened. So I find wrecks pretty interesting. Um, it can get a little intimidating for the more complex ones.
Hmm.
Then obviously the right training is required if you're going really deep or um, trying to penetrate and get in. But down there, right around the Bahamas, there are a few good wrecks. But yeah, you've got the Caribbean right in your backyard. So
True. I got a question for you. How long did it take you to perfect your buoyancy going through those wrecks?
mm, in general, I am always still learning. Um, it took me, and it differs for different people. It
Hmm.
probably took about, I think I started feeling more confident in my trim and buoyancy around like the 60s, after like 60 dives. But that's 60 dives of very different environments, 60 dives of very different configurations, which is actually
Hmm.
something I really encourage
Hmm.
to 50 dives in the exact same pool at the exact same time of the day is not as great as 50 dives in the exact same, say, dive site at different times of the day in different weather
Hmm.
conditions and different water conditions, or 50 dives, 10 of them in salt water, 10 of them in fresh water, 10 of
Uh-huh.
them in ice diving, 10 of them with a back mount, 10 of them with vest BCD. So like a varied experience kind of gives you the full picture. um, and of course, I tried a bunch of different equipment and gear to
Hmm.
get a feel for it. But personally, it took me about 60, 65 dives to really feel like, yeah, you know, I can anticipate what's coming next. I can anticipate
Wow.
when to dump before going up, or when to add a little bit before going down. And typically, when you get to a point where you just get in and just get neutrally buoyant, and you
Hmm.
kind of use a lot of your natural breath pattern to control how you're moving.
Hmm.
You're mostly just adding a little bit here and there. But again, the only way to do it is just to get out and dive. What's up, Ernest?
Yeah,
That's
I feel you.
So are you thinking of going further, getting some more search? You just mentioned Rex. Are you looking at
Yeah,
doing some of that?
probably. I'm not gonna say probably. I know for a fact I'm gonna get up to a instructor level. But it's gonna be a little tricky with school. But definitely yes,
Yeah,
instructor.
yeah. That's awesome. I mean, once you get the dive bug, you just can't stop. Um,
That is correct. Yeah.
I, I I don't think I have the 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 temperament to be an instructor, so I never pursued it. But it's
Hmm.
something like I bounce it, I think about from time to time, um, and mostly just to, I don't know why I'll do it. It's not something I'm looking at right now, but it's definitely a good way to go.
Hmm.
There's a lot of instructors tell me there's one of the best things they enjoy about being instructors is seeing that, for new divers or people that are just coming in, seeing that first comfortable breath underwater, like, wow, I am breathing underwater, and being able to be part of that process really helps. So I think it's definitely a good way to go, while you dive in Bimini and dive in the Bahamas and get all those fun experiences and work the way up. Let's
Oh,
see.
and
Let's see. Yep.
definitely solo diving.
Mm.
That is definitely a number one.
You really are in the CIA, aren't you?
Nah. Nope.
That's That's cool. For those, let me see. I think we've got a bunch of divers here, so most people will understand. But typically in diving, it's a sport you do it at least one other buddy. Um, but solo divers, there's some reason other than recreational that people may want to solo dive, search and recovery, search and rescue, things like that. That you may have to split with buddies. So solo
Hmm.
diving just definitely kind of teaches you all the best practices to stay safe, all the additional redundancies you need to have to stay afloat. Let's see. It's a good chat.
Gotcha,
I love
gotcha.
it. What do you? What's the one thing you've always wanted to ask about scuba diving that you probably haven't mentioned, or you probably haven't found the answer to?
Um, Probably the number one thing, like experienced divers like yourself, like what made you choose scuba diving? You know, other than bike
Hmm.
riding or sailboats or skydiving, like why scuba diving?
Man, number one reason is to look cool. That's 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 my number one reason. Anything else is just additional garnish. It's to
Hmm.
look cool.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
You know that feeling when you walk out? I'm just kidding, but it's actually kind of a cool feeling. I mean, tell me if I'm lying, guys. You guys listening, tell me if I'm lying. But one of my earlier dives, I was probably just fresh out of open water. I went diving with a couple of really, I think they were both instructors actually, both like instructor uh, course directors and really advanced experienced divers. And we went out to La Jolla. We got out really early, very early in the day. What's up, Sam? And by the time we had finished our dives and came back up, the beach was getting full. And, just walking out, just coming out onto the water felt like a James Bond moment. Like, hey, what's up, yo? You guys are chilling on the beach? Okay.
Hmm.
We just said what's up to Aquaman right now. But yeah, it kind of shows me. It's something I've always been curious, something I've always been interested in. I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. It's a beach city. Um, a lot of uh, I have a lot of early memories on the beach, at the beach, but never going into the beach or into the water, into the ocean. And maybe just consuming media, underwater footages, and just made me the more the more I saw it, the more curious I got about it. So in when I moved to California, I started spending a lot more time on the water. It's just a little more accessible in California compared to say Northern Virginia or Baltimore
Hmm.
or something. And yeah, you go out if you spend that amount of time on the water, you see certain things just on the surface. You see, you're close up to like whales and molas and things like that. It just makes you wonder. Come on, man,
Hmm.
I got to get under this. I got to get under there and see what's going on. So yeah, it kind of just chose me. Started it out really thinking, oh, do it, get the first level, move on. Now I just started spending time. And
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
so original answer to look cool, second answer to not talk to people.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha,
What
gotcha.
got you started? How did you? Because you're involved in a lot of things. You fly planes. I have a lot of respect for pilots.
Hmm.
Just that's another cool sport, cool
Hmm.
profession, a cool activity. When you guys walk out of the plane after a flight, you look around like, yeah, what's going on, you peasants? So,
Until you
what
see
got,
how much that fuel costs.
I know, right? There you go. Oh, wait. You take checks?
Hmm.
What
Yep.
got you started in, why'd you learn to dive?
Uh, well, myself, let's see. I would have to say I love the unknown. My parents named me
Hmm.
after Neil Armstrong, the astronaut, first man to walk on
Yeah,
the moon. If you
yeah.
believed he walked on the moon. But
I don't know. I still believe the earth is flat, so.
But I just love the unknown, you know. Anything that you really have to work hard to learn, that's me. Um,
Mm,
I hate that. I hate things that are easy, you know. If there's a challenge, I'm there. If there's no
mm.
challenge, I'll pass on it. So the unknown, to explore, to learn, you know, all of that, that's my personality.
That's
So
pretty
that's what
cool.
got me into it.
And it's definitely one of the better sports for that. It's something you
Hmm.
can't. I mean, obviously, you can just jump in the water and dive, or jump in the water and free dive, but
Hmm.
you probably don't want to. You can't just go into a shop, buy gear, and like, oh yeah, I'm going scuba diving. You know, you gotta.
Hmm.
There's been a whole course of coursework that's been developed for the right protocols to get you in and get you safe, keep your buddy safe, and all those things.
That
So it's
is
pretty
true.
cool. When I started diving, one of my first pull sessions, well, I was sucking in so much air that my instructor had to get me like a bigger tank, get me like a still 100 just to
That is
keep me in.
me.
And that was in the pool. And that was in the
So
pool.
I don't mean to cut you off, but when you
No, no,
watch
go
my
ahead.
videos, all I'm doing is looking at my ear. That's all you'll see me doing, looking at my ear. And when my ear is
Yeah.
low, I'm like, hey, you don't have to get my attention. I gotta go. I gotta go. So that's me.
It it takes a lot of practice, a lot of just trying out a bunch of different things too. And videos actually really work because I look at my older videos and you can see me just you can see my tank go in and out. Um,
Wow.
but one of my dive buddies, I guess, we actually went from open water to DM together. Uh, Sean, we got to get Sean up here and talk about good old times one of these days. He is also a yoga instructor, amongst other things, and he is the most one of the most calm, one of the most calm people I know. Just the world is burning, and he just calmly goes,
James Bond.
Relax, it's gonna be all right." um, and he gave me a bunch of tips here and there to uh, well, it's something you're just gonna have to try, but tips that just help me really take in that rhythm and go with it. And
Hmm.
it's something over time, like you said, just calm down, slow things down. Because anxiety and panic, really, I mean, other than just bad configuration, bad buoyancy, things like that,
Hmm.
just anxiety, the anxiety of what you're doing is another main reason a lot of people just blow through that air, like blow through it. Um, but over time, again, with diving, it's something you just have to keep doing. Like, keep diving, good day, bad day, as long as it's safe to dive. Because the more you do, and keep diving, like more experienced divers too, and you get to pick up a lot of things from a lot of nuances, a lot of tips and tricks that are just not in the just not in the textbooks. But
Hmm.
it's been something great, and it's something that takes you to a bunch of different places. Like you just mentioned, that whole adventure you're looking forward to in Africa. I mean, going back to the motherland and showing up and like, hey, where's the dive site at? Let's do this. It's pretty cool. Other than say Africa, any other spots, any of the specific spots that you have in mind on your bucket list?
Probably Australia.
Mm,
I would say
like
that's my number two.
the infamous Great Barrier Reef. A lot of
Hmm.
Australia as a place has been kind of elusive to me. Like
Hmm.
that's well that and yeah, I think that and Antarctica is probably are the two continents I haven't been to. But everyone that I know that's been to Great Barrier Reef recently, have
Hmm.
been like, you got to spend. It's one of those things. If you go out there, there's a bunch of other things to do. It's not really close to Sydney or one of the main cities, so
Hmm.
you got to go out of your way to really experience it. But then you only have so much time, so you're trying to do that dive in a day or two. And it's if anyone's gone diving at the Great Barrier Reef, let us know. Shout out in the comments or just put it out here. Let's talk about it. Um, so yeah, you might go out there and it's like really stormy, really surgy, huge currents. The is not great, so it might not be a great dive. So It's something if I did, I'll probably spend like a good like solid week just trying to go day after day to see how it is and just not kind of wing it. But that'd be something. So
Hmm.
what else are you into? You dive, you fly, you are going to be a doctor soon. You've mentioned a bunch of things, a bunch of
Space.
space.
Into
Ah,
space. Yeah. I mean, to be an astronaut, that is my end goal.
hmm.
So, yeah, I love space. Can tell
Hey,
you
you
about
guys,
space and rockets and that area.
that's you guys had it here first. Neil is all this diving and flying and saving lives is really to get out into space. So when you see him in space, when you see him on the TV in space soon, remember this moment,
Hmm.
right?
Oh yeah,
What got what got you into that? How? What's the? Well, obviously you're named after Neil Armstrong. So
Armstrong.
what's your what's your how'd you get into that?
Uh, let's see. Besides the name,
Hmm.
and looking into space, so I grew up in Queens, New York,
Mm,
probably 2 miles, 2.5, 3 miles away from JFK Airport, and all you hear day and night is planes.
hmm.
Concords, 747s, DC-10s. I mean,
Jamaica
you name it.
Queens.
That is
Yeah.
all you hear. So when you're outside, everyone else, they're just in the world, they're enjoying the world. But myself, I'm looking up. I'm just looking at, landing
Uh,
gear, looking at their final, their base. I'm just like wowed by aviation. Um, and then it's, after getting into aviation, it's like, okay, I've done it. It's cool. But now I gotta,
hmm.
keep going. I gotta go
Nice.
further. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to get to the moon,
Wow.
want to get to the
Yeah.
moon.
I mean, Elon's got the Mars um, strategy kind of in the works already. So we're probably looking even further than that at some point once we figure out how to get there quickly. And I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, he's working with a good set of engineers, a good set of scientists, a good set of chemists.
Hmm.
But when you speak about space, it's, there's no gas stations, there's no charging stations. There, it has to be a certain type of propulsion that can
Hmm.
carry you, and create the energy, almost like nuclear energy, how you have, uranium and it's constantly burning until the lifespan is out. But
Hmm.
to go
And
that
how long?
far, I mean, Mars is like 6 months at 25,000 miles per hour, straight translunar injection. Like, it's a long time. A
You
long
guys do the math to
time.
that. Just do the math. 6 months at 25,000 miles an hour. That's a lot. That's far.
Yeah,
It's pretty far.
yeah. I
And
mean, go ahead.
no, it's a great point you mentioned because it's actually very. I'm not surprised that you're into space because being a scuba diver actually is I want to believe one of the closest things to being an astronaut. You know, doing a spacewalk. A lot of the astronauts actually do train on the water in the
In
NASA
Houston.
labs in Houston.
Hmm.
So that it's about that spirit of exploration, that spirit of redundant checklists to go through before you start the mission, start what you're gonna do, and always some kind of you don't know what to the other you don't know what's where you how the dive's gonna go, or you don't know how the space mission is gonna go, but you have a plan. You dive the plan, and you plan to dive, and try to dive the plan. But if things change, you kind of have a contingency back,
Hmm.
to
That
to
is
try to
true.
deal with it and see how it goes. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty true.
So grew up in Queens. That's cool. I didn't know that. So Jamaica Queens area,
Yep.
watching. Yeah, I lived in Brooklyn maybe 10 years ago now. For a little bit, right after grad school in Connecticut. Um,
Wow.
then, but yeah, West Coast is still the best.
I don't know how you do with all
uh,
those earthquakes, man.
um, yeah, it'd be all right. we just put it on Instagram. So, well, yeah, it's
Hmm.
fun conversation. I mean, sometimes we digress. We're talking about diving. Now Neil's giving us some good good info about space and space exploration. Let's hear more. What's You said you're moving to Florida soon, right?
Yeah.
Is that anything related to your medical course or
Well, yeah, to continue.
okay.
And also, well, the internship programs that they have, I can't continue what I'm doing here at Cape Canaveral, so I'm gonna have to look into maybe like something permanent.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just to, further, my career and also dive,
Yeah.
I mean, I got a scholarship to go to Columbia University in New York. Ivy
You're like,
League,
eh.
yay, it's cool, but can't dive, so thanks for the offer, but I'm good. Yeah,
That is fun.
seriously.
So Mans here just said Ivy League prestige or
Scuba
breathing
diving,
underwater. I will go
breathing
scuba diving.
underwater. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
That's
mean,
how
I had to actually ask a lot of people,
mhm.
from, the top people at General Dynamics, to, inventors, to the top doctors, to you name it. Like, I really needed help with that decision. And they were like, do what makes you happy.
Yeah,
So you don't got to tell me twice. So that was
that's
it.
true. Sherry said when
Hmm.
diving is life. Yeah, it does become a lifestyle. Um, I could be going to Mongolia. It's landlocked. It's a desert. The first thing I'll be like, so is there a spot to dive? Like, is got any oasis I can just dip in real
Hmm.
quick? But
Hmm.
that's pretty cool. But it also kind of says a lot about just when you start. Obviously, you do a lot of other things, and you have very awesome. I'm really just watching your story and seeing how things pan out. Really, really excited for you and really
Hmm.
proud of what you're doing, brother. So,
Thanks.
um,
Thanks a million.
the way diving just kind of takes helps, maybe not helps, but yeah, influences other decisions you do in everyday life and other things. I think a lot of we can draw a lot of similarity from just being in moments where it could potentially be life or death. So you gotta like keep some clarity
Hmm.
and try to do the right thing and just go with the call and move on. So that's very obviously you had other reasons you chose diving over Columbia. However, if you have any Columbia alumni, hey, diving is life, so y'all better get underwater and start diving too.
That is
That's
true.
that's that's been a fun chat. So Neil here is
Hmm.
named after Armstrong. He is going to be a space explorer. He's going to be an astronaut, no
Definitely.
doubt. And he's also currently working on being a doctor. He's going for nursing, and anesthesiologist, and one of the healthcare heroes. Fighting a good fight. He flies planes, flies, lands, gets the thrill, comes out, and remembers he's doing it just to look cool. And you're looking cool, man. And it's the same
Thank you.
way.
Thank you.
It's the same reason I go diving, just to look cool. I swear, I don't.
Hmm.
Everything else is just gravy and juice. But a lot of great things, a lot of great things, and I'm really, it's been very nice getting to know you a little bit more, and that's what Divers Getting Coffee is really about. A while ago we started saying what's up, uh, supporting each other from afar.
Hmm.
But one of the things this pandemic has reminded us is that whether near or far, whether um, in person or virtual, we can always nurture connections, and that's one of the reasons we talk. Because now we're gonna have ideas we can bounce back and forth, and hopefully with others as well. And that's the cool thing, and that's the whole point of Divers Getting Coffee. And it's been really cool getting to know you some more, and I'm looking forward to your space adventures that will be coming up pretty soon. You've got a bunch of other
Yeah.
adventures in the near future. Going down to Bimini, going down to moving in Florida. Where can we find you online?
Uh, Shadow producer underscore 8701. Um,
Man said it.
yeah. Yeah, I got
Definitely,
off
I'll
of
tag.
Facebook just so
Hmm.
I can, make sure I have my study time because you can just be on Facebook day and night,
Mm.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. Instagram, shadow producer underscore 8701.
Hmm. Yeah, you gotta share. You're having a lot of great adventures,
Hmm.
and you gotta share some more with us, man. You gotta put it out there. Let's all see it, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna, the new stuff I'm gonna do with NASA,
Hmm.
um, and my journey, uh, up until I'm one of those 26,000 candidates for astronaut candidate school. Um,
Uh,
yeah, so definitely gonna, start that stuff. I might do a new page just for that. Not sure yet, but it's definitely gonna be up there.
that's pretty cool. I mean, actually, now that you mention it, random fun fact.
Hmm.
So last roughly, obviously this is not exactly 100% accurate, but roughly 3.5 million scuba divers active or certified in the U.S., maybe 6 million around the world. Out of 8 billion people, that's a pretty slim percentage of the population as a diver in general.
Hmm.
And now as a diver and a pilot and soon to be an astronaut, you're like one of the very few all around adventurers. What's going?
I mean, life is
We
here, man. You gotta live it. You gotta live it.
you gotta live it. That's true. And no excuses, no barriers. We just gotta get out there, do what we can, and do it for yourself, which is another very important. Another very important um, takeaway. Like what you just mentioned about choosing having diving being one of the factors that made you decide, you know, I want to live this lifestyle versus, I'm gonna have this prestigious Ivy League degree that I don't really care. Sounds great on paper, you know. Anyone that
Uh
hears
huh.
that goes, woo! But then if you're not doing it to really for yourself, what's the whole point of it? So
That is true. Question, question, question.
yes,
That
sir. Please.
painting that you have in the background, I need one. Where can I get one?
That's it's one of 15 that were made
Oh
5 years
man.
ago.
Hmm.
I will. It was made by sort of a friend of a friend. I
Hmm.
will reach out and see if there's something similar that's still available. But it's like we've been talking about. It's funny. We've been talking about space and scuba diving
Hmm.
and
Astronaut in water.
astronaut in water. We need to have divers in space, just dive gear and just floating around spacewalking. Let's see how that goes. Let's just turn everything on its head. But yeah, I'll check and let you know. But it's one of a limited. It's one of 15 made 5 years ago.
Nice.
A friend of a friend. I'll ask and see if it's still available.
Perfect. Thanks. Thanks.
Well, it's time is money. You got a lot of things to do. You got
A lot of homework.
a lot of homework, and you've got the
Hmm.
planet to save. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it, Neil. It's been a
No
pleasure
problem.
talking to you.
Same
Hopefully, we
here.
get a dive soon. And thanks to everyone that joined. Your diving is life by Sherry. That's funny. That's true. Yeah, thanks everyone that joined. It's been fun. Um, that's it for this session of Divers Getting Coffee. I am Ed. I will be back on later tonight. Later on today, I'm talking to uh, my sister from the motherland, Zandy, aka Black Mermaid, aka Free Diving ZA on Instagram. She is a free dive instructor, former scuba, and she still scuba dives, but um, we're going to be talking later tonight. It's going to be morning for her, 11 p.m. for me in California. But
Wow.
fun times. Everybody, at Shadow Producer underscore 8701. Can I ask you? You don't have to say it if it's something sensitive. 8701. That's what's that?
That is Usher, his one of his albums.
Oh, huh.
I used to produce
Oh,
music,
that
but
eight seven zero one.
I didn't produce that, but I produced other stuff.
Oh
But not
wow.
that one. Yeah.
Neil is also a music producer. We just added another rank. What do you not do?
I don't know. I don't know. But if I don't
Okay,
do it,
awesome.
I will get my hands into it at some point. Yeah.
It's just on the list. You get into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Well, let's see. Do we have any questions from anyone before we wrap it up for tonight? Looks like a nice evening over there. Just time to go have some dinner and relax. Well, that's about it for now. This is Divers Getting Coffee with Neil at Shadow Producer underscore 8701. Over and out.
Thanks.
Dive soon.
All right.
All right. Thank you, folks. I think we're going to. Thank you, Ash. Great coffee chat. It was another great session. Thank you, TJ. It's actually very interesting how much we learn about each other just sitting down, talking, and you know, having coffee, and we're just getting to know each other. So it's cool. Man's over there, at Shadow Producer underscore 8701. Neil, soon to be astronaut, um, diver, pilot, medical professional, medical nurse and trained, music producer, a lot. That's awesome. All right. Thank you, folks. Until next time, this is Ed, aka Minister of Adventures. I'll have to think of more names, more titles for myself. But it's fun. It's fun having these conversations. Have a good night, everyone, or evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Ciao.